So something I was thinking about, you know, I worked with this guy, man, at my most recent, my past job that I just, that I most recently, um, got away from, and I don't know, he just came to my mind, like, just how he would act. Um, I never seen nobody in all of the jobs that I had. I never seen nobody operate the way this guy, operated. Thinking back on it, it was kind of like scary, like, um, how programmed he was. Um, you know, I never been around nobody like that. You know what I mean? Like I never worked next to nobody that would do anything to come to work. You know what I mean? Like that put work before everything. Like I work with guys that prioritize their job and all of that, but this guy had a wife that was fighting cancer and she couldn't drive to her chemo, like to her chemo appointments and stuff like that. And this nigga, he had time off. He don't, like, he one of them niggas, like, he don't never use his personals. Like, we get 6 personals in a year, and this nigga got 6 we get them in January. He got 6 personals in December. And knowing what I know now, and understanding how we all just a number, for these companies, and just seeing the devotion and just the dedication that this guy put into this company. Like, niggas would make jokes like, yo, if they fire this nigga, he gonna shoot this whole fucking warehouse up. Like, I'm just trying to stay on this nigga good side so he don't so he don't come here, you know what I'm saying, and I'm on his list. And motherfuckers will make jokes, but analyzing it and just reflecting back on it, it probably was some truth to that shit. Like, when somebody puts everything that they have into something and it don't work out the way that they think it should work out, you know what I'm saying, or it's not responding the way that they feel it should respond to them putting everything into it, most of the time that shit, motherfuckers lose their mind, like, and they do crazy shit behind it. Even in relationships, you know what I mean? That's why you see people, they put everything, they love people so hard and so much that when things don't go the right way, they end up, deleting the person or whatever, or deleting themselves. So it just, again, to what I was talking about though, like, I never worked with a nigga that would damn near want to fight motherfuckers or complain and make and file grievances because people got overtime, or they went to this person about overtime before him. But back to what I was saying. His wife was, and it's a true story, yo. His wife had cancer. She was fighting cancer, like she was really fighting, and she couldn't drive to chemo, like back and forth to the chemo things. And he wouldn't leave work. He wouldn't call out. If he was on overtime, if they call overtime, he wouldn't, like, literally, I worked with the nigga. He would not leave to go take her to her chemo treatment. You know what this nigga would do? He would get her Ubers. He would get her lifts. They said it was times, these times I don't know about, it was times that she had to catch the bus to her chemo treatment appointments. Like, people make jokes like, yo, they gotta pay him to leave. Like, he won't leave. Like, he'll stay here all day if he could. He had no kids, nothing like that. No small kids, no kids at all. And a lot of people, some people, would just be on the tip like, well, he's just trying to make money, and that's what it is, and that's just his thing. But I think it's like it is. It's a line drawn with making money and just being a robot and not being able to care about something or people, or like you no longer have the ability to feel or experience emotion. You know what I mean? Like, you no longer can prioritize anything above the job. Like, it becomes that important. It becomes so important to you that you don't probably even realize that you're doing it. But it's like the programming is so strong. I don't know if that's like fear of like not wanting to ever be fired because you always there for the company. You put everything second to the company, and you still can get fired, even with doing all of that, not taking your wife to chemo, being there all day, every day, calling in, asking if they need you to come in. Like, I shrugged it off when I was working there. Like, I just, this nigga, he just a weirdo. Like, he like to go to Disneyland 5 times a year, and like, that's his thing. And everybody got their thing. But looking back on it and understanding, things differently now, that nigga was a fucking robot. Like, straight up a robot. You know what I mean? Like, just his way of thinking, and it was crazy. It was like, just wow. You know what I mean? Like, it's not a lot of those type of people within 9 to 5s and shit in that world, but that's like, he's like a cyborg. Like, that's like, like they did their thing when they fucking programmed him. You know what I mean? And it's like hit or miss for these companies. Everybody not gonna be a robot like him, but that's what they aiming for. That's what they want from people. They want people to become that. You know what I'm saying? And if you think about it, these companies, they don't ask about your family. They don't even really ask about your personal life. Everything is work related. You know what I mean? Because they want that to be all you know, and they want that to be all it is. You know what I mean? And all your life, revolves around. But man, I mean, and he was happy about it. Like, I think that was like the hardest part to understand. Like, did he develop this happiness, or was this the place that he'd rather be because his life was so shitty, or he was running from his real life, or you know what I mean? Maybe personal decisions that he might have made, and he felt safe and comfortable there, on top of being paid for being there. But he was happy. I mean, he complained every day, but you can tell that when he was there, he was happy to be there. I don't even think managers, like, I don't remember any managers being like that there. I think he was like him and maybe one other older guy was just like, every ate, slept, and shit that company, bro. And, all in all, just realizing now, you do all of these things and you work hard for these companies, and you put yourself there, and you sacrifice so much, all to have nothing. Like, I think our biggest fear is just being outside of our home. Like, not having a place to stay, I think, is the biggest fear. Like, I don't want them to cut the lights off. I don't want them to, I don't want to be late on my mortgage and they take my home. I think it's just so much fear built around that, and that's why people are going to these jobs every day. Because outside of that, if you take that away, if you take that fear away, you're going somewhere every day and you have nothing. Like, you're in the end, you're not gonna have nothing. And I seen somebody saying some real shit. Like, even the guy I'm talking about, he will work 40 hours a week plus 40 hours in overtime. After a certain amount of overtime, you're literally working for free. That's how I knew. I said, yo, this nigga's a robot. He'd rather just be here. He can't even escape the idea of, like, not being at work. You're not even getting paid after a certain amount of hours. And he know it. But I seen somebody say some shit like, in this world, and it's all about how you perceive it. That's the biggest, I think that's the biggest thing. Because if you're not allowing it to bother you, or it don't mean a lot to you, then what I'm about to say won't really, it is what it is. It's like, you take your wins where you take your wins, right? But the guy was saying, in this experience, you have to sacrifice something. And I felt that, and I understood that immediately. Like, most people that work for a lot of years get the pension, the benefits, and all of the things, especially with the benefits, because, if you live in a certain lifestyle and you put in certain shit in your body and you're not taking care of yourself, you're going to need the benefits. But, you go through this life and this experience, and it's like, you either prioritize the job and receive everything that comes with having the job and working for the company, but you sacrifice your health and you sacrifice your time and your experiences, you know what I mean, and making memories and really enjoying this life experience. Or you prioritize your health and your mental health and your experiences and your life experience and your memories, creating memories and everything like that, but you sacrifice the money and the benefits and all of that stuff. And I think it really just boils down to that. Like, what are you willing to sacrifice? And like I said, if those things don't bother you, if you're in a place in your life where you're present and you're living a minimalistic lifestyle, then sacrificing the money, and the benefits and everything that comes with that, and that materialistic, thing or whatever, then that doesn't bother you. And I think I'm at the point where I'm willing to sacrifice the money, the benefits, and everything that comes with that, to just fully experience this life, you know what I mean, and just this whole thing, because majority of people that's working, they're killing themselves. If they're not killing themselves within the work that they do, they're killing themselves, with everything that comes with working a job or working for a company, all of the stress, all of the things that you do, all of the shit that you're doing to your body, mentally, physically, being on the go, ripping and running, what you're putting, you don't have time to prioritize your health, is what I'm trying to say, you know what I mean? Because it's just hustle and bustle. And, people that's prioritizing their health and their minds and their spirits, a lot of times, you know, you're not prioritizing the money. And that's why I said if you're not ready, then you can feel like you're missing something. So it's tricky, man, but I'm on the side of like experiencing this in its totality, 100%, you know. Yeah, for sure.